Hello once again everyone, this is Sonic Rules 831, back again with Sunday Night Lights with the 1987 NASCAR Busch Series. I will show some occasional highlights, stories, and all the winners from 1987 in the next 4 parts. And of course, show you the champion at the end of part 4. We get started with the season opener, the Goodies 300 at Daytona. Rodney Combs was on the pole as he led us to the green flag to begin the 1987 season. This race saw 32 lead changes among 14 different drivers. Mark Martin, driving the number 31 Ford, also will run both Cup and Busch, led the way early on, but the race would shift with every different leader. At one point, Rick Mast was leading, and then another point, Jack Ingram was leading, then back to Mark Martin again. But on lap 32, Ronnie Silver, who was running in third at the time, ended up tagging the lapped car of Glenn Jarrett, causing Jarrett to spin. Silver would keep going, but he was upset with Glenn Jarrett. Brad Teague led the restart but was immediately shuffled back within a few laps. Larry Pearson would have the lead by lap 44, and the lead went back and forth between him and Harry Gant. Lap 48 would bring out the second caution as Larry Pollard went to pass Morgan Shepherd and gave him no room, causing Pollard to go into the wall. Bobby Allison then packed the 97. Mike Alexander was collected, who caused Shepherd to barrel roll, as well as Glenn Jarrett running into the back of Haskell Willingham. Seven laps to go as Donnie Allison led the way, but Ed Barrier and Harry Gant ran away immediately thanks to a lapped car. With 6 to go, Harry Gant would pass Barrier as well as Jack Ingram and Eldon Sawyer. This would become a 4-car battle for the win. Coming to 3 laps to go, Eldon Sawyer took the lead from Jack Ingram. Ingram would then take the lead back a lap later, and on the final lap, Eldon Sawyer had a chance. Making a huge run down the backstretch and into turns 3 and 4, he is neck and neck with Jack Ingram, and Eldon Sawyer will win the season opener at Daytona. Sawyer with the win, Ingram second, Samard third, Kenny Burks fourth, and Dale Earnhardt was fifth. Harry Gant, Tommy Houston, Joe Thurman, Danny Marshall, and Rick Mast round out the top 10. The second race of the season took place at the North Carolina Speedway in Rockingham, North Carolina. In this 148-lap race, it started with Mike Alexander and Jack Ingram up front. But finishing the opening lap, Sam Ard took charge of the field. This race would run relatively clean and see 8 changes among 3 drivers. Jack Ingram would lead the most laps with 99, but in the final stage of the race, great calls were made by Brett Bodine's pit crew, which ultimately got him into the lead. And eventually, that would mean that Brett Bodine would get his first win of 1987 at Rockingham, Jack Ingram gets second, L.D. Ottinger gets third, Jimmy Hensley fourth, Sam Ard fifth. Sixth place was Brad Teague, Larry Pearson in seventh, Darrell Waltrip eighth, Mike Alexander ninth, and Robin Moroso rounds out the top 10. The third race of the season was at the famous Hickory Motor Speedway, where Jack Ingram claimed the pole with Mark Martin starting second. The race was 150 laps, had 12 lead changes among 6 different drivers, as well as 3 cautions, with Jeff Hensley being the lone DNF. In the end, however, Jack Ingram would go on to dominate this one again, but this time, he will get to keep it that way and win at Hickory. Mike Alexander was second, Brad Teague third, Jimmy Hensley fourth, Larry Pearson fifth, Brett Bodine in sixth, Dale Jarrett seventh, Max Prestwood in eighth, Sam Ard ninth, and Elton Sawyer 10th. Race number 4 of 1987 takes us to the paperclip, Martinsville Speedway. Sam Ard got his first pole of the season, and Tommy Houston would start right next to him. This race was also 150 laps, as Tommy Houston would lead 117 of them, taking the lead on lap 19, but he would get shuffled back to 16th by the end of the race. There were 9 cautions and 2 lead changes among 3 drivers. After the dust settled, however, on the final restart with 2 to go, Brad Bodine would get away with his second win of 1987, as he is off to a great start, driving for the fast upcoming team, Hendrick Motorsports. Joe Harrison would get his best career finish of second, Sam Ard third, Brad Teague fourth, Larry Pearson fifth, L.D. Ottinger sixth, Dale Jarrett seventh, Bob Shreves in eighth, Robert Ingram ninth, and another top 10 for Rob Moroso. The 5th race of the season came at the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway. Jack Ingram gets his second pole of the season, with Larry Pearson starting next to him. This was a relatively clean race with only 1 caution, as well as there being 8 lead changes among 6 different drivers. In this 111 lap race, Jack Ingram seemed to have control of the race, leading 51 laps. However, he got shuffled back to being 2 laps down thanks to some bad brakes, giving him a 31st place finish. In the end, Larry Pearson and Sam Ard were left fighting for the win. Sam Ard gave it his all, but Larry Pearson would pick up his first win of 1987 at Darlington. Sam Ard, the runner-up, in second, Morgan Shepherd third, Robert Ingram fourth, Mike Skinner in a one-off finishing fifth, Ronnie Silver in sixth, Joe Thurman seventh, Kenny Burks eighth, Harry Gatt ninth, and Dave Matter the third finishing in 10th. The next track of the schedule takes us to Thunder Valley at Bristol Motor Speedway. Danny Marshall gets the pole with Larry Pollard on the front row as well. This was a rather calm Bristol race with only 1 caution. There were 8 different leaders that created 17 different lead changes. Sam Ard would lead the most laps at 61, and in the closing laps, Morgan Shepherd used the lap traffic to weave his way past Dale Jarrett, and Morgan Shepherd would go on to take the win at Bristol. The final race we will cover in part 1 takes us to Langley, and this race was a rather quiet one. Jack Ingram took the pole with Mark Martin alongside him. And there were no cautions, with only 3 lead changes among 3 drivers, those being Jack Ingram, Mark Martin, and Brett Bodine. As well as leading the most laps, Mark Martin would end up taking the checkered flag, gathering his first Busch win of the 1987 season. And that will conclude the first part of the 1987 Busch Series season. Stay tuned for the remaining parts to see how this season unfolds. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Down in the description, I will have a download link to the results from races 1 to 7, and then you will see the rest of them as they go. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.